Well, how y'all are this afternoon? It's your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range again with my next installment on, hey, I got this old used gun. The old used gun I got today is this guy, the Colt Pocket 1908. Now, the Pocket 1908 is virtually the same gun as the Pocket 1903. The difference being the 1908 is in caliber 380. Okay, 9mm Kurtz 380. Now, Browning developed the 380 cartridge back about the turn of the century, and when he was working initially with FN in Hersel, Belgium. And it kind of took off in Europe, you know, but this was the first American-made gun available in the 380 caliber. They manufactured these from 1908 until 1945, and they stayed on issue with the U.S. military as an officer issue handgun all the way up into the Vietnam War. Stockpiles of them were played out. They basically gave them away. People got into theater and were basically issued one of these with no request for it back. So sometimes you see them with property, U.S. government on the side of them, and sometimes you don't. It's a good little pistol, good little operating pistol. I've owned one or two of them over the years. I know at least two people that I can think of right off the top of my head that still carry this gun as a defensive handgun everyday carry. One of them is a policeman down home that actually carries it as his detective gun, and another gentleman here locally that carries it in his bibbed overalls every day. But it is a good gun. Now, it doesn't have a lot on it, okay? It takes down very simply by locking the slide back manually with the slide locking mechanism, twisting the barrel and unlocking it from inside, pulling it out, twisting it back and pulling it the rest of the way out, then the slide comes off with it. Basically like a lot of the early Brownings. It was a twist barrel takedown arrangement. The slide stop is also the safety mechanism. It has a good positive safety on it. But I'll give you a warning. I do not believe that this gun, on its very best day and its very best condition, is drop safe. There are incidences where this gun was dropped and fired. Now, it's not a striker-fired gun. It's actually an internal hammer. It actually has a hammer inside of the action, shielded back here, that's completely enclosed, but it does in fact have a hammer. So with all that having been said, we're going to try this gun at an 8-inch dirty bird target at 7 yards. Get me some ear covers on here. Cover up them ugly ears. Take a hold of that gun, take it off safe, put it on the bench and see how it actually shoots and works. And we'll get down here. It's not a very big gun. Oop, that's a 10. A lot better than the NAA Guardian, that's for sure. This gun's actually a pleasure to shoot. And shoots. And we're out. 7 goes pretty quick. Magazine's released by heel catch. Released by heel catch. Released by heel catch. I might put 7 more in and shoot it again just for the fun of it. These guns are always fun to shoot. That's one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of them around in good condition, is because it and the 32 variant were both a lot of fun to shoot. people would take them out and shoot them because they were fun. Let's get 7 more up in there. Go up in there. All right, here we go again. Should be it. Let's go take a look at our accuracy, our tactical accuracy, our tactical. Let's go ahead and see it shoots. 7 and 7 is 14. Let's see if I put 14 in it. Looks like we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a good shooting little gun right there, considering its age. This has a 5-digit serial number. Probably manufactured sometime in the 30s. The finish on this gun is, oh, I don't know. I'd say 70%, maybe 65. It's typical of most of these guns that you see. They tend to look worse on one side than they do on the other for some reason or another. I typically believe that's from whether or not they carried it in their right-hand pocket or their left-hand pocket and sweated a lot. But typically you'll find them that is the blue is more worn on one side than it is on the other. So this gun is in good shape. Mechanically, it has a little rust showing. It has a lot of patina. Bluing has turned to patina. It has, let's look at the magazine. I don't think the magazine is original to the gun because the older Colt magazines are half blued. Up here at the top, it's typically bare metal, and then they're blued down here, like when they clamp a hold of them and dip them in the bluing salts and back out again. And the magazine does not have the Colt logo on it, but it says caliber 380 Colt on it, and the magazine is crimped together down at the bottom, and Colt just didn't do that. So I'm saying the magazine is not an original magazine to the gun. The grips are, and they're not terribly worn. They're in the condition you would expect to see them in a gun that's 65 or 70 years old. Colt medallion is in place and readable, and it still has a little checkering left on it. It's not worn completely smooth yet. Gun is 100% reliable in function and complete, with the exception of the aftermarket magazine. I give the value of this gun somewhere in the neighborhood of $375 to $400. One in 100% condition would be worth about $1,500. That's box and papers and everything, just like it would have been on the showroom floor. And typically that's where you see these guys, is between $3,000 and $1,000. Okay, so there's just depending on condition. But this one's basically a $350, $375, $400 gun. And if the owner would sell me this gun, I'd probably buy it from him, just tell you the truth. But he won't, so we're at least we got to bring it out and look at it. Well, that's about the size of it for this installment of 8. I got this old used gun, 1908 Colt, a really nice gun. All right then, I'd like to take surefire, commentate, and subscribe. Get your buddies to sign up. Leave me an old $1 in the Patreon bucket on the way out the door, and if you don't do that, I'm just going to keep right on making content for you anyway. All right then, we'll see y'all.